Elijah Hamilton-Wray, your work is awesome.
Thank you.
How's ArtHop going for you so far?
Yeah, it's feeling pretty good. I stopped by a few places and seen a lot of stuff, but yeah, it's nice.
So let's describe your art.
It's kind of realistic rendering. I usually like to work with portraiture because I like depicting people. I've done a lot of self-portraiture in my life, and these works are self-portraits in a way too.
Take me through what had to happen to make this come alive.
So I literally started with putting my hair in these pigtails and actually covering my eyes with a blindfold, and then taking a picture of that. Because in these, I kind of like to represent how I wear my hair sometimes, and this is one of the styles I wear it in.
With the hat on backwards.
And I also had the hat on backwards in the picture too. So yeah, I kind of like to just put different things on each just to make it more interesting and individual. So yeah.
Yes, yes. Why this?
So the mouth part is, I think that's also something that differentiates the paintings. I like to kind of play with what I'm doing with my mouth, and like, I think it gives expression to the painting. The reason that I'm biting my tongue in this,
It's gonna be deep, isn't it? But that's part of your title, right?
yeah, so the title, Don't Say the Idiom, is a reference to biting your tongue. So when people reference that, they're, what's the idiom? And they're, oh, it's bite your tongue. It's like, oh, but I'm not supposed to say it.
How did you get started in this craft?
Well, I've always loved art, like back to when I was a kid, just comic books and stuff like that. So I've always been drawing, but I started painting about 9 years ago when I took a class in college. So that was an oil painting class, and then I've kind of done a little oil and acrylic works ever since then. I just love it.
Yes. Does your work have a theme? As I look at these two pieces, there are pieces of the face missing. There's a mask. Let's describe this painting right here.
All right, so this painting right here, Close Context, is one that I did because I kind of wanted to capture the time that we're in, and carrying with like the rest of the theme of the paintings, I removed everything except for a few pieces like the hair, maybe something on the head, the lips. But of course in this one you can't see the lips, but it gives a kind of the shape of the face with the mask also.
All right, so teach me how potentially you've made this come alive. What's the process?
So first I'll start off with a base color that I want for to represent the hair.
Just brushing up and down.
Yeah, brushing up and down, kind of getting this form. And then I'll come through with a really bad paintbrush that I've kind of cut off.
Okay.
So the bristles are short. And then I'll dip it in and kind of come through and just...
And we're dotting like
just
that,
dotting
right?
all the way down,
Ooh.
yeah. And then it gets to some point, and then we start mixing.
Do you have to smudge to?
Yeah, like in these areas right here, I'll have to smudge it down and then kind of render from there. Yeah.
Yes, yes. And obviously, more smudging here, and if you make a mistake, you can kind of fudge it up.
Yeah, if I make a mistake, I can just go back over it. That's what I love about painting. You can always cover up your mistakes.
Are you working off a photograph, or are you visualing the face, and then are you painting? What's your medium here?
This is acrylic paint, yeah. So I'll usually take a photograph of my face or something with my phone, and then for these ones, I just stripped away everything else and just kind of left what I wanted to on the painting.
Yes. How important is the background color for your work?
The background color is pretty important. I usually like this kind of singular background so that the foreground could pop. And it doesn't distract from what's in the foreground, but it also gives the painting like a nice touch. It allows the eye to draw back and forth from the foreground to the background.
How do I find out more information about your good work?
I have my Instagram page, Canvas Kids, Canvas with a K, and then Kids. So that's where my art is.
Well, may the community come and see your outstanding work. Thank you, Elijah.
Thank you so much.
Support for Kalamazoo Lively Arts is provided by the Irving S. Gilmore Foundation, helping to build and enrich the cultural life of Greater Kalamazoo.